This article is about how Tanzania has banned agricultural imports from South Africa and Malawi. So basically, some background info. For the last many years, South Africa has prohibited the entry of Tanzanian bananas, and Malawi has prohibited the entry of flour, rice, ginger, bananas, and maize from Tanzania. So Tanzania has had these blocks against it for many years, and only now Tanzania has implemented an entire agricultural block on both South Africa and Malawi in retaliation. This article says that there have been long-running trade issues between these countries, but there are talks ongoing. One question I have is that if there are talks ongoing, why would Tanzania right now implement blocks if they are talking diplomatically? And the article explains more about the blocks and how they've affected the various countries. Uh, for example, if we look at a map over here, Tanzania it is on the ocean and they have this really big port that they import and export a lot of things from. Meanwhile, Malawi over here is completely landlocked. And according to the article, Malawi has to rely on this port over here for most of its imports and exports. So Malawi is relying on Tanzania. So with Tanzania's new block on all on all agricultural imports from Malawi has greatly impacted Malawi. Meanwhile, the previous blocks on Tanzania didn't have as much of an impact because Tanzania is on the ocean and has many lakes around it and can trade with many other countries, even though South Africa and Malawi have implemented blocks previously. One thing I noticed in the article is that both the Malawi governments is that the Malawi government said that it is us that their blocks were a strategic move to create an environment where their own local businesses can thrive. So this is an example of protectionism, which is a connection to globalism. So Malawi is exhibiting examples of protectionism because they want to protect their own economy. And in addition, Tanzania has says that their moves are also an example of protectionism because they said that they are taking these actions to protect Tanzanian interests. So both the countries of Tanzania and Malawi have been making these moves to protect their own domestic industries, and this is a connection to our globalism unit because it is a strong example of protectionism. A question I have is, why did this all start in the first place? The article didn't really explain this, and I will definitely be doing my own research to figure this out.